So in today's video, I'm going to break down how to set up your first profitable Instagram ad campaigns. And I'm super excited to share this video with you because I think Instagram ads specifically can be a very powerful tool for your business. So if you have any questions, make sure that you comment them down below. I try to answer every question that I get. Okay, so now let's go over to the ads manager. Okay, so now as you see here, I am in the ads manager. So if you do not know, how you run Instagram ads is the same exact way as you run Facebook ads since Facebook owns Instagram. So you want to make sure that you set up your business manager. So you do this by going to business.facebook.com. If you've never set this up before, they're probably going to ask you, what is your Facebook page? What's your Instagram account, payment options, all of that. Once you get that set up, you should see a screen similar to this, okay? This is a completely blank ad account, okay? And the very first thing that you're gonna wanna do before you start creating campaigns or anything like that is set up your Facebook pixel. And you do that by clicking this three-prong thing here, hit Events Manager, once it loads. And then it's gonna ask you, to set up your Facebook pixel. Now, since I've already set this one up, this screen looks a little bit different, but for you, it's probably gonna say connect data. And you are gonna wanna set up your meta pixel, which is your Facebook pixel, and conversion API, which is CAPI. And essentially all CAPI is that now since iOS 14, data tracking isn't as good as it used to. And a lot of people have opted out of tracking. This just allows you to have better tracking capabilities because you're not pulling it from the browser. You're pulling it from the server, whether information from the server. I don't want to get too technical, but essentially you just want to set it up. Okay. It's just going to allow Facebook to gain the information it needs, because ads is really a data tracking, machine learning type of system. And without this, you're not going to have very successful campaigns. So set it up. More than likely your integration that you're setting this up with is going to be with Shopify or WordPress. Okay. And they already have super simple integrations to help you get this set up. Just follow the prompts and you're good to go. So to set up your first campaign, okay, what you're going to want to do is click Create, and you're going to see these objectives, okay? And these objectives really follow your customer journey, okay, or sales funnel, right? So awareness objective is really going to be for somebody that is brand spanking new to your brand. They don't know you from a can of paint, okay? And awareness campaigns are really good to run, at that initial phase. You want people to get to know you, right? That's where you want to run awareness campaigns. The second campaign that you want to run is traffic campaigns, okay? Traffic campaigns are really good to run once people are a little bit aware of your brand, okay? And you want to get them to your website. You want them to consider your brand. You want them to consider to make a purchase. This is definitely more of a mid-funnel type of campaign. And then lastly, another campaign that you want to run is sales and conversions, okay? This is at the bottom of that sales funnel. This is where you really want to convert, someone that's viewing your ad into sales, okay? And honestly, this is where you want to get all your campaigns to, right? You do your awareness and traffic campaigns to get people to convert to make money, okay? Now, the main question that a lot of people get is, should they start off with sales objectives? Should they start off with traffic or awareness, right? And a lot of the times, it's really going to depend on where your brand is currently and who you're trying to reach, okay? Now, I would recommend most people, if they really want to be profitable with their Instagram ads and they're getting enough volume and traffic to their website, to start off with retargeting campaigns. These are one of the most profitable campaigns you can ever run, okay? Because these are people that have already seen your brand. They maybe have, already added items to cart, and you're gonna get these people back to your website to make a purchase. So I'm gonna start there at the bottom of the funnel because I know you wanna make money, right? What you're gonna wanna do is click sales, hit continue. And once that populates, you're going to want to name your campaign. Since this is just a tutorial, I'm just going to say test campaign. But you definitely want to name your campaigns because it is very easy once you have, 10, 20, 30 campaigns, you know what I mean, to lose them in your ads manager. So you definitely want to be organized, okay? And then moving forward, you don't really need to worry about this too much as of right now. You don't need to worry about A/B testing, right? Now, what I will say is you do want to use Advantage Campaign Budget. This used to be called CBO, or Campaign Budget Optimization. Now this is called Advantage Campaign Budget, okay? And all this means is that as you start to build out your ad sets, Facebook is going to allocate your budget according to the best performing ad set, okay? I always recommend running it. There are going to be other scenarios to where you can do ad set budget optimization if you really want to be specific and have targeted numbers that you need to hit for your budget. You want to make sure you test each, ad set accordingly. But for most people, running, Advantage Campaign Budget is going to be good enough. It's going to optimize your campaigns. So I definitely recommend that you turn that on. All right. And then it's going to ask you for your daily budget or lifetime budget. So if you already know that you want to spend $1,000 a month on your campaign, right, go ahead and put that in. Or if you want to do a daily budget, some people like doing that better. It really just depends on, how you like doing your budgeting, but it doesn't really matter. Put in what you want. Just for test purposes, I'm going to say $100 a day. And that's what Facebook is going to spend. Now, as you can see here, there is a bid strategy, and you can change this depending on, what type of strategy you're going after. Now, this is definitely a little bit more advanced, and I'm not going to go over this in this video, but there are different bidding strategies that you can go after once you really know what your break-even point and you've given Facebook a lot of data. But for the sake of this video, we're not going to really go over that right now. Utilizing highest volume is going to be more than good enough. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is go to your ad set level. And so at the ad set level is really where you're going to narrow in your targeting and your conversion event. Okay, and so what you're going to want to do is set up your conversion event for purchases. Okay, you don't want to set this up for anything else. Purchases is going to be the way to go. Also, let's not forget, you definitely want to, put in and name your ad set. Again, this is just a test, so we're going to do test ad set. You want to do website because you want to drive sales to your website. Simple enough. Okay. And then moving forward, you can set your date and time. Some people are very anal about this. They like setting it at 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., the next day. It doesn't really matter. I haven't seen it, really matter for my ads personally. Okay. And this is where you can create an audience or custom ad set. Okay. Now, if you are going to run a retargeting campaign, you are going to want to create a custom audience, okay? Because you want to tell Facebook essentially who you want to target. So I'm going to show you now how to create a custom audience to retarget, okay? So what you're going to do is create new. You're going to select custom audience. And it's going to tell you all the places to where you can, create a custom audience from. Now, if you're already in business, a really good custom audience to create is your customer list, okay? That is one of the first audiences you want to make because you don't want to retarget people that have already purchased from you. So what we call this is a suppression list, okay? This just tells Facebook, hey, these people have already bought from me. I don't want them to buy from me again. Or you may have a product that these people have bought something else and you want to target your own customers and you want them to buy again from you. So depending on, your product and your service, this may be a good or bad thing. You might want to exclude them or include them. Really just depends, right? But Another thing that you can do and use with your customer list is building out lookalike audiences. Now, since iOS 14, lookalike audiences aren't as powerful as they used to be because of the whole data tracking thing I was talking about before, but you can still use them and use your customer list to create lookalike audiences. So Facebook will find people very, very similar to your customers that have already bought from you, okay? So that's how you can utilize customer list. The second thing that you want to do after you build out a customer list, right, is your website visitors, okay? Now, some people like doing 30-day website visitors, 60-day, 90-day, 180 days. It really depends on how much traffic your website is getting. I will say the most profitable one is the last 30 days because these are people that have just came to your website, right? So they're very, very warm. So getting them back to your website again to make a purchase is definitely going to be very, very profitable. As that window starts to, get bigger and bigger and bigger, and, the longer they've been away from your website, the less profitable that becomes. But if you have a very, very small audience size, you may want to do 180 days. I'm going to show you how to set that up now. So what you're going to want to do is click next after you select website, hit next. And then, once you've already set up your pixel, and this is why I say it's so important to have your pixel on your website, it's going to pull from that data source, right? It's going to pull all your website visitors, right? Or if you have a specific product page that you want to retarget people for. So let's just say you run a beauty brand, right? And you have a specific lipstick that people have gone to, and you want to retarget for a specific product, you can actually, select people who visited this specific web page and create ads specific to that product. So as you can see, this can be very, very powerful, right? But in this case, I'm just going to do website visitors. They even have website visitors by time spent. So let's just say you have somebody that spent 5 minutes on your website. This is somebody that, knows your brand, likes your brand. That's a long time in today's day and age, right? So there's so many things that you can do with retargeting your website visitors. But again, just for the sake of time, we're just going to click this. And again, you can go to 30 days all the way up to 180 days. I'm just going to say 30 days. We're going to do test, audience, description optional, right? And then create audience. Now, again, this is probably not going to build anything. It doesn't matter. So boom. So now you're going to see custom audience, test audience, website visitors here. And you're going to want to do the same thing for you. And then moving forward, you can do locations. So depending on where your target audience is, you want to put in all the locations. So if you're located in the United States, obviously put United States. But if you have, website visitors in the UK or Canada or Australia, or, the big 5 audiences that e-commerce brands have, you can put all these locations in. And then what you're going to want to do is put in your age ranges. So again, this is really gonna pull from the data that you're getting from your Shopify store or your, WordPress website. You're gonna want to put those date ranges in, and then if you have a specific product that goes after a specific gender, male, female, right? Now, again, since we're doing retargeting, you don't need to put in any detailed targeting. Leave that blank. Normally, I do all languages because most of the time, all people within my website typically speak English, right? If you want to put English, you can, or English or whatever native tongue that people go to your website is, you can, but typically I'll just leave that alone. And then this is how you can actually place your ads specifically, right, on Instagram. So as you can see here, you have Facebook, the Audience Network, and Messenger. So this is where you take everything off. And this is where it shows you all your placements. So Instagram feed, explore plays, explore home, Instagram shop, right? Instagram stories, Instagram reels. So this shows all your Instagram placements, okay? Now I will say when you have 6 or more placements, that's where you get the cheapest cost per, action, right? CPA, or cost per sale, or CPP, cost per purchase, whatever your acronym that you want to use for your sales, okay? And I've seen success using these 6, but it's really going to depend on your creative, okay? Your creative is really going to dictate where you place your ads, but I recommend at least running it on Instagram feeds, Instagram stories. And then if you have a really, really good, creative, then try testing it on Reels. But yes, these are all the placements that you can utilize. Okay, now we're at the ad level, okay, and this is where you actually place your creative. This is where you actually, put in your ad itself. All right, and for this, you want to name this as well. Naming conventions are very important with Instagram ads or Facebook ads, right? You want to name it, but again, this is just a test. We're going to do test ad, keep it moving. You want to put in your Facebook page and your Instagram account clearly enough because you want to run your ads on Instagram. And then this is where they show you all the different creative sources that you can use. So you can manually upload, you can utilize something from your catalog. Once you upload that, you can do a single image, you can do a carousel post, you can do a collection. Okay, so I do want to go over creative best practices that you want to utilize for Instagram ads. The first thing is you want to design your creatives with the sound off in mind, okay? 70-80% of people do not use the sound on Instagram. I know that sounds crazy, right? But a lot of people scroll when they're either at work or, they're out and about and they're not gonna have their sound on, okay? And so you definitely want to craft your creatives for that. You want to make sure that you have, text in there. You want to make sure that you can stop the scroll within the first 3 seconds. Your first 3 seconds of your creative, especially when it comes to video, is imperative because after 3 seconds, people are more likely to skip. So you want to make sure that you have something that grabs their attention. You want to make sure that your video creative is no longer than 20 seconds, okay? If it's longer than 20 seconds, then the drop off is like crazy. So you want to keep it short, punchy, sweet. I know it's going to be hard to get out all the information possible, about your brand. So, if you have a whole bunch of features that you want to discuss, break that out in multiple creatives, okay? So only do one feature per 20 seconds or 15-second creative, right? But you want to keep it very, very short, all right? Now, I will say if you are going to use images, you want to make sure that you adhere to the sizing chart. So 1:1 is good, 4:5, stuff like that, or 16:9, or is it 9:16? 9:16, right? The Instagram story length. So, and again, you want to keep text as few as possible when it comes to creating images. You do want to have bold and vibrant colors. You want to stop the scroll. But you want to definitely incentivize people to check out, whatever you're offering. So those are some quick best practices. I'll leave best practices also in the link in the description down below from Meta themselves. And that can really, really help you as well. But you definitely want to think of the end consumer. Are you creating creatives that, go after that pain point that your audience is experiencing? And are you alleviating that pain point? So you want to make sure that your copy also talks about that as well. You want to give a sale, right? There's so many things you can do with creative. I don't want to take too much time, but you definitely want to be thinking about your audience in mind after you get over those best practices, and make sure that you hit those pain points, stuff like that, okay? And so this is where you put in all that information. So this is where you add your media, your image, or your video, right? So for the sake of, I might just drop in a random image. Do I have an image just to use? Okay, let's just say I use this image just so you can see what it'll look like. It'll actually show here what it looks like in feed, what it'll look like in Instagram stories. Hit next. Right? And so it'll show you and preview what your ad will look like. So if you type in primary text, test, this is what your ad will look like. Boom. So it'll show you text down here what your ad will look like, right? And so, and you're going to want to test different headlines, right? Learn more. I've always used learn more. That's always worked well, right? Most people use learn more. Depending on your product and stuff like that, you might want to change it, but learn more has worked well for me. But you want to make sure with your copy, you keep this short, okay? Very, very short. And you want to make sure that you have your incentive. So whether that's free shipping, right? Discounts, you want to make sure all that's in the primary text. So, and you don't need to add super, super long copy, very short, 1 or 2 sentences at most. But you definitely want to lead with your, incentive of your offer right away. And most of the time you should leave with some type of big discount. All right, moving forward, you want to put in your website URL. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure that your tracking is set up. And then boom, you've created your first ad. Okay. And again, the point of this ad is to retarget people, to get people back to your website. Okay. And these again are the most profitable Instagram ads you could run. Now, if you have any questions, make sure that you comment them down below. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and make sure that you check out this video right here.